I'm going to go to Kari Lake, our friend, now talk more about this. Kari, good to see you again. Let's start right where we left off, the hard move to the left. Your thoughts?
It's baffling because they had a terrible loss in the last election. President Trump wanted decisive victory. And President Trump is, as your last guest said, he is fighting to make life better for real everyday people. And so what I think they should be doing is saying, how can we try to work with President Trump to maybe get some of the things we want, to negotiate with the great negotiator, President Trump. Look at how President Trump is working right now, Rob, with world leaders. They come to D.C., he meets with them. They're on opposite of where they want to be. He is pushing one thing when it comes to tariffs. They're pushing another thing. And then they work together and they come up with a deal. President Trump's a deal maker. I mean, he will meet with Democrats. Look how he met with Mayor Bowser in Washington, D.C. He's had the Michigan governor coming in. These people in D.C. who are Democrats should be sitting down with the president saying, how can we help make life better for Americans? And how can we make America great again?
Yeah. Wanted to show you this from the New York Times. The situation in Gaza obviously has gotten a lot of attention for months now, but really it's heating up right now. And last week, the Times published a story with an image on it, pretty shocking. A child, the paper claimed, was suffering from starvation, claiming that Israel is effectively starving kids in Gaza. But then this big mea culpa this week, the Times admitting that that child actually suffered from pre-existing health conditions. It was a retraction that they didn't even post on their main account. And I always think every time there's a mistake from any of these media companies, you notice how the mistake always goes in one direction. There's never a mistake that's not of their own perceived agenda. Go ahead.
It's because they're not mistakes. It's intentional. The fake news media has been doing it for years. It's been ramped up. They probably knew when they put that picture out, it was a picture that would, tug at people's heartstrings. And, I admit I saw the picture.
Israel.
I felt for that baby. I felt for that little one. Yeah. But it just wasn't true. It wasn't true what they put out there. And then for them to apologize and not even put the apology right there on the front page of the New York Times where it should have been, it just shows you that they're completely discredited news outlet. They're a rag of a journalistic outlet, and they shouldn't be trusted for anything. If they can't be trusted on that, how can we trust them on anything that they cover?
Yeah. Good point. I think about that every time I read their articles. I still read them, but you're getting pumped with their propaganda every time you open one up. CBS, right. After years of Stephen Colbert, David Ellison, the son of Larry Ellison, taking over Paramount after this Skydance merger, planning to bring back a performance-based culture to CBS, not quotas, not ideology, just objective journalism. They are calling this fascist, what's happening to CBS. They're saying that the president is, and what exactly is CBS doing? CBS is mandated to be a non-biased network. They have not been that for a very long time. They've been propagandists, which is illegal. They're trying to force this back to just an unbiased network, and we hear screams of fascism. It's too rich.
And the left is just losing their mind. They're saying that President Trump's attacking journalism. No, he really truly wants just fair, old school journalism. That's what he wants. And CBS used to offer that. I mean, 60 Minutes used to be an icon. It used to be what you aspired to attain in journalism. And I'll never forget the Leslie Stahl interview with President Trump, where she lied through her teeth, and he was trying to prove her point, or his point, that she was lying, and she just denied it. And now it's a discredited. Just like the New York Times is completely discredited. We're watching the absolute collapse of the fake news media, and I hope something positive gets built up around it.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of these instances, all the complaints that Cory Booker had today in that rant, we went through them line by line. These are the institutions that have been propping up the Democrat Party for a very long time. And if those become dismantled and have to go back to just being unbiased, I mean, think about the damage that will do to their party. Because this is not a left-leaning country. This is a center-right country. They could, if those institutions are dismantled, they could never win again. They're going to have to figure out a new way.
And if we go back to having our education system where we're actually educating our kids with a true education, not biased, it's game over. And it should be game over. If you're anti-American, it's time for your days to kind of be in power to end.
So many examples we can go through. Kari Lake from the U.S. Agency for Global Media. Good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Rob.